Sniper Elite 4 is a third-person tactical shooter which is a direct sequel to Sniper Elite 3. This time we're in Italy in 1943, and here to tell me all about it is Louise Blaine.
Hello, JJ.
So, the big question, is this just the same game again?
No, it's absolutely not the same game. While I think we've had the experience with Sniper Elite, we had V2, which was, again, Second World War, but I think we were in Berlin at the time, and then we moved, as you said, we moved over to Africa, and now we're in Italy. And while that progression, it's still war, it's still Carl Fairburn, he's still really grizzled and really gruff, and they've managed to inject some humour into him because they know he's kind of ridiculous. But Sniper Elite 3 really opened up things, made it less linear. 4, you've basically got, there's 8 levels, you've got 8 mini open worlds on offer, so it's kind of like Hitman. So you've got, while there's still war going on, you've got Nazis everywhere to shoot, you have individual objectives, you've got optional objectives, you've got like millions of collectibles to do, and they've really opened up the fact that you can now jump over things, you can climb stuff, they've opened up the environment as well. So they've opened it out the way, and they've opened it up the way, and you can go into stuff, so they've opened it in the way, so they've brought it out. It's makes it far more fun to explore, and I really like it.
So as you mentioned, everything we've seen so far basically does make it look like Hitman with war.
Yeah.
Is that a fair comparison? How does it compare to something like Hitman?
I would say so, in the fact that you've got you've got set objectives, you need to take out certain people, you need to do certain things, but there's so many different ways you can now do it. So previously it would be like, okay, wait for a time to line up your sniper rifle and don't get caught and squeeze the trigger. Now, yes, you can do that, or you can kill everyone on the way in, or you can maybe set a teller mine, or you can throw in dynamite, or you can do all kinds of different things. It's not so much as, hey, I'm going to poison this and he's going to drink it. It's not like that element of Hitman. But you know that when you approach anything, if you approach a building, or even, at one point I had to get into a castle, there's going to be multiple ways in, and that you're going to find, whichever way you go in, there's loads more collectibles now. So they've thrown in, like, you've got letters from home, so if you really want to read and get really sad, you can read about what people's families are sending the soldiers. There's letters to home, and there's last letters, and there's all these interesting things you can pick up. But you can also pick up things like the duty roster for that particular officer, so you might pick it up off a body, and then whereas previously you normally have to bring up your binoculars to scope out where everyone is, finding the duty roster will mean that you have everybody mapped out. So because normally you go into an area and you're like, you sort of get into a bush or into cover and try and desperately work out who's where, because it's really clever in the fact that you think there's no one there, and then you start looking around and start tagging people, and it's like you see one, then you see more, and you're like, oh hell, I need to get through this. So that comes in really useful. So it's finding these different ways to get in and to do things that really make it really exciting. And also you could just shoot someone, or you can really stealth. You can hide in foliage, which I do a lot. So I play it kind of like Assassins, where I sort of wait in the foliage. You can distract people, so you can throw people with rocks, or you can whistle them over, and they come over, and then you can take them out there. So I actually do a lot of sneaking around, because it's still difficult in the fact that if you fire your gun, they will know where you are, and the minute you fire your gun, if it's not covered by a sound mask, you'll get a big red triangle appear, a cover blown will come up on the screen, and everyone will descend on you, and that's not easy. Like, it's great fun. Like, you can properly, I felt like sort of World War II John Wick at one point, because I had everyone arriving on me, but I had an SMG and I was taking everyone down. But you will want to melee people as much as possible, because although it is fun when everyone arrives on you, if you want to stay stealthy and you want to stay ghosting, you need to map everyone's locations, you need to sneak up behind them as much as possible, and they've got the addition of suppressed ammo this time around as well, so you can actually customise your loadout so that you start with some suppressed ammo, which is good. It's not the fact that people won't notice when you take out their friends, but they won't know exactly where you are, and that's kind of the key difference there.
And so gameplay-wise, obviously you've got your sniper, but you've got other weapons as well. What do those kind of feel like to fire and play with? Yeah,
so although it would like you to believe that you've just got your sniper rifle, obviously there's loads of different places you're going, there's loads of different ways to take things out. So you're going to need, you've got a pistol, and you've got your submachine gun, which I fully enjoyed making the most of, but you can upgrade those in the loadout menu. So while there's lots of things to do in the game, there's optional objectives and all the rest of it, even if you're looking in your loadout menu, to upgrade certain parts of your weapon, you need to do certain things. So in order to get there's some kind of skin upgrade, maybe you need to get 20 heart shots, or you need to shoot 50 people in the shoulder to upgrade, get rid of the recoil on it. So you're constantly giving yourself new objectives. There's this massive open world. There is set things to do, but it's just a big sandbox, and there's 8 of them, and they're really... The fact that each level feels really different as well. So you're going into one and you're going around the sort of monastery, and there's blue skies, or there's a Docklands level where everything's dark and you're taking out anti-aircraft guns, and so everything feels really different. It's not like, here, go into this kind of vaguely familiar open world. They are very, very different. They constantly demand different styles of play, and you constantly have to think on your feet, which feels really refreshing.
Now, obviously, these areas are massive, and there's 8 of them.
Yeah.
How long would you say you're spending on each level?
I think my average was probably, I'd say, an hour and 10 or 20 for them, for each one, and that's not collecting absolutely everything, because there's even things like Deadeye statues, so you're shooting different eagles or finding these letters or doing all the rest of it. So there'll always be parts that you don't actually find. So I could probably spend a lot longer. And then if you're going to ghost them or going to try and stealth them, I'd say you could take 2 or 3 hours going around if you don't want to be seen by anyone. But that almost seems impossible in some of them, but I'm sure it is possible.
Now, stealth is obviously an option, but there are multiple ways to kill people.
Yes.
In this game.
Yes.
You've probably got some favourites.
Things we haven't mentioned, the kill cam. So the kill cam is absolutely back, but the reason I haven't brought it up so far is because the game is worth so much more than those. Although it's deeply satisfying when you shoot someone and you watch, it go to muscle and their eye pop, or their teeth burst, or their heart melt, or their spleen shatter, there's so much more game there. But in saying that, that's all a hell of a lot of fun. You now have the kill cam for when you can shoot trucks, and obviously ball of fire erupts, and you'll get like a kill cam of that person kind of melting in the explosion, or
nice.
You'll have, and you can, the testicles are back, so I got a couple of those in. In fact, I think my first shot of the game was that. And you can actually turn that off. If you just want to go a stealth experience, you can turn off the kill cam. I really enjoy the kill cam. It's a nice change of pace when you've been in a bush for a while and you shoot someone in the back of the head and you watch their hat fly off and their teeth fly out, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, that's what Sniper Elite has been judged on, I think, fairly harshly sometimes, but it's brilliant, it's bloody, and this Sniper Elite 4 is bloody brilliant. I think it's really taken it up to the next level, so it is on par with something like Hitman, it is on par, or possibly much better the stealth than something like Assassins, where you know how everything's going to work out. It's really solid, you know exactly how people are going to react, or perhaps not so in the way that humans do, but it's really, really good stealth.
Okay, Louise, what score are we putting on Sniper Elite 4?
Sniper Elite 4 is getting 4 stars.
Alright, so that's our review of Sniper Elite 4. Thanks for listening. Let us know what you think about it in the comments below. Click the boxes on the left for more content from us, and don't forget to hit the big button in the middle to subscribe for more gaming news, reviews, previews and features right here on Games Radar Plus.